Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 3 in this series. We've seen Havoline even up the series at 1 game apiece as we are now moving into game number 3. Foggy spawning as the blue Night Elf player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have Havoline spawning as the green Undead. I'm going to go ahead and slow things down into the normal speed here, as we already see a ghoul opening up with a little bit of harassment, and now perhaps going to be making his way into this location here. The Demon Hunter is going to be putting in some pressure as that ghoul is now looking to back off. He does not want to stick around. That is going to be causing problems, and it is interesting to note that the Death Knight this time around does once again have Unholy Aura. What does that mean? It means that he's going to be slightly faster, but he's not going to have the benefit of those death coils. And also, he's not going to be forcing mana burns off of that Demon Hunter. Now, you can see that there's going to be a little bit of early damage here. That Archer has taken a lot of damage already. That Ghoul is also getting taking a lot of damage, as well as the Skeletal minions are just being led like lambs to the slaughter. Not very careful with them at all. Doesn't really care if he loses them, as the Death Knight now backs away. He did end up getting 1 Ghoul and 1 Ghoul only. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter will not be able to catch up to that Death Knight, but he may be able to not along the foot race for that unit to really be backing off here. All right, Death Knight, Demon Hunter, both of them just backing off once again. Let's take a look at things as we see the Demon Hunter pushing back that Death Knight all the way back home. All right, ghouls are going to be hiding inside their base. No cold tower, surprisingly, as the Demon Hunter going to be picking up perhaps Boots of Speed and maybe a Staff of Teleportation a little bit later.
A player's forces are under attack. The town is under siege.
Archers making their way across here, trying to take down this 4-3-3 or 4-3-2 creep camp. Forest Troll Trapper does have Inner Fire, and the Demon Hunter missing a little bit of a mana burn right there, making it a little bit more difficult. He's going to be able to pick up a replenishment potion, and we see an ensnare onto a skeletal minion there. All right, oh, level 2 on the Death Knight. A big shot there. Death Coil now going after the archers. Is the Death Knight going to be able to finish off this archer before that archer gets back home? No, it will not make it, as the Death Knight launches a Death Coil and gets another kill here. This is already much better than what we saw in game number 1, as we now see Foggy pinched up into the corner right there. That low hit point ghoul, however, quickly focused down by 4 archers, and that is the problem. No more mana. Oh wow, beautiful save right there. As you can see, the Death Knight, a beautiful leader, getting into harm's way to protect his subordinates. All right, having a good boss looks exactly like that, as that ghoul says, hey, I want to see what's going on. No, you don't. That will be the last thing you ever see, as the Death Knight now racing back off to the north. That Death Knight needs to stick close enough to those ghouls so that they have that benefit Unholy Aura movement speed bonus. Now, what's happening next? Graveyard nearly done. Switching out low hit point ghouls for high hit point ghouls, as the Death Knight needs to get a bit more mana. We should be looking at a slaughterhouse being positioned here or here. I do not believe we are going to be going into gargoyles. That would probably be a bit of a problem now, as we have seen a large number of archers being trained. Death Knight now looking to turn back around. The Demon Hunter just doesn't want to be chased, and this is more of a style here where you have to keep track of where your Death Knight is relative to your other units. Wow, 4 archers there. I have actually seen shadow melding traps being brought into play, where a Demon Hunter purposely runs through some archers and then closes in a box right behind them. Usually works better with Huntresses, as the Wand of Mana Stealing has been dropped. Meanwhile, back down across over here. Where is he going? He is teleporting back over here, dropped the Circuit of Mobility, healed back up to full, and is now ready again for some more action. Death Knight still sitting at 2. Lich is being trained up. We are taking the Black Citadel. There is that slaughterhouse. Everything is lined up for the end game here, and it is going to be a longer game, just because both sides are really not trying to engage each other. They're going to try to go into that end game, which is a better strategy, I believe, for Havoline. Havoline did much better in game number 2 than he did in game number 1. things just started to go downhill for Havoline from the very get-go when his harassment wasn't that successful. And we see that the important tech to Tier 2 really Tier 2 and eventually Tier 3 also unsummoning some of his buildings and really not trying to do any sort of expansion attempt. So that is a bit interesting here. Now, the Lich is out on the field. Frost Nova, Circuit of Nobility, only Claws of Attack +6. All right, oftentimes I've seen Circuit of Nobilities being transferred over. Oh, well, if the Death Knight had one, perhaps it would have been transferred over as we see, well, the death of a pig. And then, well, it is magic how those skeletal minions do pop right back up. All right, Death Knight now going to come in and engage. You can see that the Lich is off to the side. Both sides creeping out relatively difficult creep camps. And we see True Shot Aura being given to the Naga Sea Witch. That is a tremendous bonus. Essentially a level 1 upgrade for all ranged units indeed. As you can see, those archers and dryads dealing so much extra damage per attack. That is going to have a definite outcome, and it may come down to the items that are dropped and what you are capable of creeping. Demon Hunter also getting level 3, and that is important as well with a Potion of Greater Invulnerability. Mana Burn onto an Obsidian statue, and that is a very big blow. That Obsidian statue, short of getting, wow, Frost Nova there. Is the Demon Hunter going to be able to get away? Yes, he will. Let's see, Mantle of Intelligence +3. Lich needs to pick that up. An additional +3 damage, always very helpful. Well, looks like the Death Knight is going to be picking up for now, as we may be going after this Rock Golem creep camp next. Demon Hunter making sure that it is difficult to try to do any serious harassment. Meanwhile, the Naga Sea Witch is poised to strike on the far side of the base if Havoline is not careful. You can see Destroyer form now being added. Orb of Corruption, that little extra lightning skull thing that is flying around that Lich. That is the animation for the Orb of Corruption there. Did they aggro the creeps? No, they did not. All right, so no aggroing of creeps there. Death Knight, if they actually place down a unit here, are we going to see an engagement? No, both sides just trying to get in position. Bears sitting at level 1. Rejuvenation, I believe, was already cast by that Druid of the Claw. A roar is possible. Demon Hunter heads off to the north, takes a little bit of damage as the ghouls, well, the Ogre Mauler and the units here are all going to be split up. All right, you can see a bit of damage there. What is happening? Ogre Mauler isn't going to get taken down. Oh, wow. Beautiful save on that one unit there, but it looks like another Druid of the Claw not going to be so lucky. If you are just going after Druids of the Claw right now, as they are not in bear form, 2 Druids of the Claw taken down, and now Foggy is in serious trouble. Destroyer needs to back off, and it looks like, no, it is not going to make it either. It is an absolute overcommitment by both sides, as the Lich does use a Scroll of Town Portal to try and run away. A little bit more damage coming across. Another archer gets taken down, as a Druid of the Claw does get to Tier 2, and now does get Rejuvenation. All right, both sides losing lots of units there. That was a big blow for both ends. 42 over 50 compared to 39 over 50 right now. Druids of the Claw are slowly being added. I do not see a Boneyard as of yet. I don't even see a Sacrificial Pit to even build that Boneyard, as we see now an Ogre Mauler going to get taken down. Who's going to get the experience? The Death Knight does, using some of his mana. He is benefiting fighting on Blight, so he does have higher hit point units. All right, no additional destroyers, though. That is going to be the big problem. You can see that the Demon Hunter is now down to 320 hit points rather quickly because of that Orb of Corruption. All right, what's happening next? Obsidian statue ready to go. Death Knight, Abomination now coming out as well. Crypt Fiends ready to go here. Where are all of these units going to be traveling to next? How are they going to engage? That is the important question here, as we see the Abomination trying to do a little bit of a chase and decides to back off there. You can see, well, a little bit of inner fire there. Devour Magic, and what is going to be engaging here? Dryads are going to try to engage. Oh, Staff of Preservation incoming. I can feel it. But, yep, there it goes. Mana Burn onto the Death Knight. Ghouls taking a little bit more damage than they would like as well. Dryad gets a rejuvenation, and then overcommitment once more. This is just going to be a constant tug of war, going back and forth, pushing back and forth, and then trying to retreat if you overcommit. That Death Knight, as you saw, was overcommitted for just a bit. Now the Demon Hunter with a potion of invulnerability has 15 seconds of push and I don't care. As you now see that engagement going in, Death Knight in a little bit of trouble. He does have enough mana. He has a potion of healing. Is he going to go for a Death Coil? Save the Death Coil, save this Crypt Fiend, but may not finish off that Demon Hunter there. All right, low hit point Bear. Death Knight now back off over here. There goes a Bear once more. And if the Lich has enough for a Frost Nova, could have taken out some units. Did not have a Rod of Necromancy. A Rod of Necromancy, sacrificing one of those skeletal minions, could have Frost Nova the unit, slowed it down enough to perhaps get in the kill. Demon Hunter, however, back up to full. You can see, oh, here comes the engagement. Obsidian Statue down to 84 hit points. It needs to go all the way to the back. We need an Acolyte to repair it. Are we going to get that is the big question. It is back on Blight. There is an Acolyte to try and repair. As you see the engagement constantly going once more. All right, Destroyer up in the air. Does not want to stick in this engagement at all. 46 over 50 compared to 51 over 60. The big deal. Foggy does have this expansion here at the 6 o'clock location so far, and that is working out very well. All right, Crypt Fiend now looking to back off here, trying to pull back those units as a Dryad getting in some slow poison damage as well. Ogre Magi, Death Knight picks up the Wand of the Wind, now has level 2 Unholy Aura. Demon Hunter sitting at level 3. Lich sitting at level 2, almost level 3. Why are you pinging here? I do not know. As we can see, there is a Wisp off over here to make sure that there is no expansion. Foggy may actually just win this game because of the Ninja expansion. Normally, so far from what we've seen, Havoline has had amazing map awareness of his opponent. This time around, he does not have units just all around the map, and that is going to perhaps be his downfall here, as we now see, wait, why is the Demon Hunter and these units not engaging? That's really strange. All right, gonna go ahead and pick up all of these items here. Those units are now moving away. Shade keeping track of all of those units, and it looks as though Foggy is just content to sit here. All right, Dryad's gonna engage. All right, Demon Hunter now looking to back away. It looked like, I don't know, did Foggy walk away from his keyboard for a moment there, not controlling his units? But then again, he knows that he is outmining his opponent. Well, outmining his opponent or has a larger army. Shade finally keeps track of Foggy's expansion, and now Havoline knows that something is wrong. He was wondering why his opponent was not forcing an engagement, getting an extra bit of gold out of that gold mine. How much gold was taken out so far? 1,500 gold, about 2.5 minutes worth of mining already, and that is just gonna get worse and worse. All right, there we go. There's an engagement. Frost Nova, Mana Burn. Are we gonna see more engagement there? The unit's now looking to back off. Abomination was in the bad spot, and now we're gonna see an engagement. Staff of Preservation. Demon Hunter is out of the fight. As we see also, are we gonna see a bear try to get away? It was not in bear form, so while in druid form, he has significantly less hit points. Wand of the Wind just keeping that Demon Hunter out of the fight. Now the Death Knight may be forced to try and use a Scroll of Healing in just a moment. Oh, was that a Dark Ritual? That may have been a Dark Ritual, but followed by a quick Mana Burn anyways, as the Demon Hunter finishes off one of those Obsidian Statues. That is a big deal. A Potion of Invulnerability, unable to stop that one-man Wrecking Crew Demon Hunter. And the Dryads, even though they are fighting uphill, seem to be winning this fight in some crazy fashion. The Demon Hunter coming back already. There is a rejuvenation. Are we going to get a Devour Magic? Yes, we will. And what is happening next? All right, Demon Hunter going after a Crypt Fiend. There it goes. Staff of Preservation again. And this is just turning into an absolute crazy game, as there is another Dark Ritual there. All right. When half of your units are dying to supply you mana on your Lich, yes, you are denying experience, but at the same time, in the same way, you are going to be in a little bit of trouble, as the Demon Hunter Staves of Preservation's a unit and saves him. All right, Demon Hunter down to 158 hit points. No rejuvenation. All right, there's a rejuvenation. Death Knight now trying to get some attacks there. No Wand of the Wind. That actually surprised me. No Wand to the win. There's the Devour Magic. There's the Frost. There's the Coil. Death Knight. It's going to come down to who gets the hero kill first. Scroll of Town Portal. Staff of Preservation. As we see the Naga Sea Witch may get taken down. No, it does not. And wow. Havoline knows that things just did not go his way there. 39 over 60. Good game. Well played. Good luck. Very, very well played by Havoline. Great introduction to my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Very, very nice edge game there. Foggy ultimately would have won, as he does have that expansion up, and he did have more units. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.